Ah, hello, boys and girls. Oh my god, it just sounded like maybe, I'm not sure if it was Krusty the Builder or Pennywise the Builder. We'll leave that discussion there. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David, Bassman? And indeed, I've come to the conclusion I can't continue to call your wife Bassman's wife. I'm guessing the correct. Oh no, it's her ladyship who was not. It's your. I think I should be calling your wife Bass Woman. Logic would conclude. Hello, her ladyship. How you doing? Um, but yeah, it's Bassman's wife who's having dinners with the family. Now this morning we're getting back onto the car. We're doing a bit of engine work, a bit of hull work. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Now the something I thought I'd share with you. I had a scale modelling disaster yesterday, and I mean, well, you know those 109s I got out yesterday. I was putting them back, and the shelf is a little unsteady. I'm aware of this. I do have it chocked to hold it up. They've clearly come a bit loose. And as I've opened the door and put a couple in, yep, over goes the shelf. I've managed to stop that because you don't even want to go when you got glass panels and shit. And of course, unsurprisingly, out come the kits. Yeah. Now, it's not as fucked up as it sounds. Some of them came off, in fact, pretty much across the board, they came up pretty well. I am considering actually doing a few streams of repairing because there's a bit of trickery involved in that. I've done it before. I think we all have, but this will be a whole new level with some of them. Yeah, it wasn't good, mate. It wasn't good. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my. But yeah, at the end of the day, and actually something that's kind of comical, and I'll share this with you, and then we'll get onto our Mustang. My response was kind of funny, in as much as once I've gotten the shelf up, seen it, I've actually gone the whole no. I think I actually did it with a little more conviction and trauma than the one you see Darth Vader do in what is it, Revenge of the Sith, where he's just gone from Anakin to Darth, which I didn't like much as a movie, beyond the fact it got me a very good time with a work colleague. We'll leave that discussion there. But yeah, and I'm surprised, and at a volume that I'm surprised you didn't hear it across the waters, people. It was, yeah, and it was just a horror. There's a song title here. It was a horror movie right there. Yeah, it wasn't good, mate. It wasn't good at all. And it was one of those moments where all you can really do is console yourself with the knowledge that, yeah, and at that precise moment, probably somewhere in either of Gaza or Ukraine, somebody's suffering a real problem. Mine is just upsetting, but let's face realities here, people. It's not a real problem now, is it? It's just a pain in the ass and very upsetting. Alrighty. And on that note, we all know the drill before anything's going to happen. Oh, yeah. Now round we come. Now, up in we go. Next, we want to find, here's our hull. Where's our engine block? Here's our engine block. Looking very sweet, reef and petite, I must say. Marvellous stuff, that. Now, what I would probably want to do here, and that's from the 109, and we'll worry about that later. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Diddly. Now, I want that to sit like that. So, you all know what my go-to methodology here is, and this I will continue. Actually, I'll use that. Excuse me a moment, guys. I'm going to put that there. Now, yeah, with it getting, as again, I've left this out. One thing that was kind of funny with the kits falling out, and yes, I managed to find humour, was there was one kit that had fallen out, bounced. I shit you not. It would have to have bounced unless there was some. However, one way or t'other, it made its way from a higher shelf and somehow landed on its wheels, largely unscathed, onto the bottom shelf. I think the wheels might be slightly stretched out. I might need to put a gun on. What's the humour here? Aside from the fact of, are you for real? Aside from that, the aircraft or the kit in question was the 109 G6 of Eric Hartman. And you got to say, well, if any aircraft's going to survive that sort of a trauma, it would have to be the highest scoring ace of all time. And so it was. Eric wasn't going to have his aircraft fucked up. No, he wasn't. Now, there we go. Hopefully that's stable enough. Yeah, he wouldn't. It was one of those clearly defying the laws of physics routines. Now, with those on, and our block looking nice and solid in its colour, now I'm going to be a bit aware of the time. We've got a few things to do today, as one does. Right. Well, yes, of course. Next goes on our engine block heads. Our rocket covers, rather, they are, I believe. Now, I think, could be wrong, I reckon they're in here. I thought I saw them in here anyway. If not, that's fine too. I'll just move through the other box. Did I see them in here? Apparently not. Thought it did. No. I can see there's one part in there that will be going on at one stage. We can, yeah, anyway. But foist, let's get those rocker covers found. Boom. There we are. Now, is there a specific number? I might zoom out just a little. Here, 102, 103. Yes, there is. So, with that facing that way, that makes it very easy to identify. We now go 103 on that one, being this. Sprue cutters. It's the first time I've had something defy the law of physics, and I've been happy about it with that model kit coming out. Normally, let's face it, we see something defy the law, do that. How on earth is that even physically possible? And it's when you've been on the receiving end of a savage boning by life, the universe, and everything. Now, I should probably give that just a little file. Then we're going to see how that fits on. I think this will be a nice, easy, clean fit. Yeah, I can pretty much be sure of that, in fact. Now, what I might even do. There we go. Now that goes on thusly. Oops, a days. Yeah, let's not just let go like that. Robert clearly doesn't want to just sit there. Actually, maybe it's an angle thing. Let's see which way it goes on. Right, so narrow end at the top. What do I define as the narrow end? That way around. Not that that would make a difference, actually, now that I think about it, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, that just sort of sits onto there. Well, because it's not flat, it's not going to just almost. There we go. So it would just sit like that, basically. That's pretty nice. Now, because it's like that, what I wouldn't mind doing is I can even tidy up the paint where I've just filed, I reckon. Put the glue around the rim there and splatch. Well, actually, more to the point, splatch that way around. And do it while the paint's even wet. That's not going to be a problem, I don't think. And then, and what's more, I reckon because of the small area involved, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to bother pouring it out. I'll just try and get it off of the nozzle. There we go. Not off the nozzle, off the cap. You'll see what I mean. Oh, you'll see. You'll see. Now, yeah, today I come off the medical exemption for my what is called job seeker allowance. Basically, whilst I've been waiting for surgery, I've been receiving what's the equivalent of unemployment benefit. And today I need to go and make an appointment. Well, go and discuss things with what they call the job network, and say to them, look, I've got a few things set up. How's about you just give me or get me onto one of those programs where you run your own business. I'll be off your books promptly. And they will go, oh, jolly good. And I'll fill out the paperwork. Ich habe gesprochen. And thus enable myself to continue my current existence. Yeah. Now, let's see. With a bit of luck, I can get enough of this. Yep, I reckon. To just tidy up that end. There we go. Turn it around. Might need to give the bottom a bit more of a shake to get a bit more paint. I reckon I can leave that for the next one. I might give this a quick rinse. But we'll get that on first. Oh no, we'll rinse this. Get that on. Then repeat the process with the other rocker cover. I think it's kind of funky that it's got two rocker covers. I mean, I understand that's because of the whole V shape of the cylinder configuration as opposed to the straight. I get that. I still think it's funky. Now, that way around, I believe, is the drill. In fact, I know it is, because that is where the yeah. Why don't I just confirm it in my mind, just as I can feel chipper and chirpy. There we go. Yes, I'm 100% correct. Glue time. Oh. Now, this is the cunty one. You can't quite see what's going on there. Just a little, yeah, this is the one that where the nozzle comes off sometimes. There we go. Now, how's this one traveling? Come on. How long is this going to take? Do I need to get the lighter? Possibly. All right, lighter. Give me a moment. There we go, hopefully. Now. We there yet? Come on. There we go. Now. Come on. Bloody stuff. Oh, there we go. Yep, that'll do it. Now, lid. And yeah, that's the right way round. On she goes. Bam. And winning. There we go. Beautiful. One rocker cover. Now for the other rocker cover. Yes. Now, which is, oh, of course, it's still on the sprue. Duh. Where'd I put it? It's around here somewhere. Oh, Robster. What are you doing, boy? Really? Come on now. It's right in front of me. You know that, don't you? Ah, it's because I put it in the 109 box. Not really helping the cause. Now, sprue cutters. Do something that's kind of funny. Okay, I'm coming off my medical exemption for my hip. I have a sneaking suspicion my knee's starting to play up. Although I'm told they're actually far worse to recover from. I think because of the nature of the joint, perhaps, where the hip's just a straight ball and socket. The knee is a bit more, it's a slightly different type of joint. All right, let's do this. First we will where's that aluminium gone? Here it is. Let's give it a shake so that we can get a bit of paint going. Yeah. And we'll put that one on. Now, I'm also thinking that we can put together, there's a fan assembly thing we can put together, as I will show you in due course. Now, let me just wipe that. There we go. That's them. That tidied up. Now I will simply clean the brush. And we'll put that right on. Now, later on, we shall. There's a couple of things we can consider with these rocker covers once they've had time to settle. And that would include putting the caps on, as in the caps where you would pour the oil, I think it is the drill. And also there's a decor that goes on the rocker covers, each of them. Well, the thing about the knee was when my hip was knackered, the thing that kept me awake the most was actually my knee. Now, I was being told it was referred pain, which, yeah, I totally get that. Rest assured, I got that. But at the same time, if that's giving me referred pain, you can't tell me that the joint itself would not have therefore been working harder. Excessive work on any one area will ultimately give you no fun at parties. Now, so that's something, but that's not going to be my approach to the situation at the moment. I don't know that to be fact. It could just be that maybe I'm getting old. Heaven forfend. And the other is, well, that's not until such time as I get paperwork and scans and all the rest. It's only a possibility. Could just be that it's being temperamental because it's a cold day. That sort of shit. Now, here we go. And on you go. Yep. Beautiful. Right, give you a bit of a zoom in. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we're all falling apart, hey, guys? All right, so that's where we're at with our engine block. Our rocker covers are now on. I gotta say, I mean, I know that the Mustang, being what it was meant to look really swish at all from all perspectives. You gotta say, just as the engine alone looks pretty nice. They clearly had thought that through as far as, well, this is look great. And it does. Glad to build a kit of it. Now, we'll let them dry for a moment. There's quite a few bits and bobs that need to go on yet. Next, I was thinking of getting a start on this. Yes, I was. Now, okay. Oh, yeah. This is the, give you a bigger, let's see if we get the angle better. There you go. You can see exactly what it is. It's the fan belt mechanism. As you can And I need to go that way. So yeah, that's what this is. And that, what happens with that, once you've assembled that, ultimately it becomes that, and that will go there. So there we have it. Now, yeah. Oh, thanks, Bass Man. Yeah, look, the Hammy's playing up is never good. I have a sort of funny Hammy story, actually, as far as Hammy stories can be funny. It's funny in as much as it shows me exhibiting A, hubris, and B, yeah, you'll see. Anyway, it goes like this. When I was 45, I was talking to some friends, and I was saying how I missed rugby. And they said, look, it's still a big unit. You're still pretty fit. Why don't you just go out? They'll probably put you on as an impact player. You'll hammer sons of bitches for 20 minutes. You'll love it. This, to me, sounded like a fine idea. Now, let me just check what parts I'm going to require here, guys. And I've got some of them. I'm not sure if I've got all of them. Anyway, I figured if I'm going to do it properly, go out to pre-season, which I did. And I soon discovered that I had scars older than some of the boys I was playing alongside. And the reality soon emerged that I could dish out those big, brutal hits that I always used to, but I couldn't get up again. And I did my hammy before the season even started. We were doing some sprints, and as I came down, I actually heard it go, and oh my god. Anyway, healed, got back out. We were playing some touch, and I went into dummy half, squatted down. The other hammy went, and as that one recovered, and I was doing some training, the team manager, because he had to go into state for work and was going to be gone for quite a while, has sidled up to me and said, oh, here we go. Yeah, look, do what the physio says, man. But yeah, he sidled up to me and he said, look, Rob, where would you stand on taking over as team manager? It would mean you wouldn't be able to play. And I thought to myself, Rob, that's probably a good idea. And that's indeed what I did. In retrospect, 45, what was I thinking? You can get away with it in some positions in the lower grades, not as a front rower. Not if you want to start dishing it out properly. Now, let's get our file. But yeah, do what they say. David, that's all you can do, really. Risk of stating the painfully obvious. Hope that comes out okay for you, man. I mean, are they saying that, have they sent you for scans yet, or is it just that it needs to be? So I've had some shoulder issues that are actually finally starting to settle, I think. Have to tidy up the ends of this fan. Oh no. That's okay, we can fix that. Thought that might happen. That's okay. What we can do, there's a whole stack of ways we can deal with that. Beyond, I mean, we're going to glue that on, but as far as we're going to need to leave some stuff to dry anyway. All right. Now, that's all of them filed. Okay. Let's glue that back on. We'll need a toothpick, I would suggest. Yeah, look, good luck with it, man. It's physical injury. Now let's just check something. It's never a good situation in any circumstance. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm just trying to find out here. Because that needs to sit around a bit more. That's okay. Now let's see the angle that this needs to sit at to be correct. That would be about it. All right. Let's do this now. I don't think this is going to be so hard. That's all that. Do I want to go? You know what I want to do? I want to use crystal clear, I reckon. Would be the ticket here. Slightly itchy there now. There we are. Next, you come here, my little. Now comes the tricky part. How do I get that to stay put? That's the flatter way. Turn that round that way. That'd be the way to. Yes, I think I see how. You have to do a bit of re-gluing. That would fix it. If I, yeah. Oh, seriously? Oh. Do I want to just leave it? Or do I want to give it a bit more glue? It seems to be drying on quite nicely as it is. We'll give you a zoom in on that. Now, that's the blade that came off there, the one just in front of my finger. And I had thought to apply more glue, but it seems to be quite happy to settle there. So if I'll give that a bit of time and space, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, listening to the body is what it's all about, guys. Yeah, and yes, that pretty much covers it as a statement. Yeah. Okay, now here we go. These next ones should be rather easier. Well, they'll still require a bit of firing, of course, but that's all good in the hood. Now, this one. All right. All these little bits are going to be really easily touched up, even with everything in place, I would suspect. Now, this comes from around this side. There are 4 bits that go on that. Why are they only showing us 3? Hang on, because one of them goes into the main block. That makes sense. Now, the first of these, and you know what? I reckon we can do much the same approach with the paint as we did on the rocker covers, which is to say get some dark grey and just touch that up, and boom. Now I have an acrylic dark grey right there. What's this? German grey. Look, I'm quite happy to go the acrylic dark grey. I don't think anyone's actually going to notice the big difference. I'm going to go cheaty, I am. Cheaty. Now, once that's done, we'll start putting bits on the back of it. Yes, we will. And then, oops. We will see about maybe attending a bit to this this hole. Although, what's the time now? That's heaps. Now, this one will do the job. Just tidy that up. That up. And maybe a little more. And then around here. Right, there we go. Get that out of the way. Clean the brush. and then we'll get started on this. Now, we shall wipe that. Reckon I'll do a water change. Alrighty. Now, next. So, if we take that correctly as that, move that around that way. So that. Rightio, got it. Yep. Okay, so if we're going from that angle, or this angle more to the point, and what we're dealing with here, aside from a siren there's a siren there, is this little widget here, which is part of our fan belt, or is our fan belt. Now, what we're going to put on first, where is this little part? Come here, you. Boom. And that. Now, let's get our glue going again. Goes. Dope. Forgot to do a dry run. Get on there, damn you. Yeah, should have done a dry run, Rob. It's very. What's going on? There we go. Oh, that's actually really good. I think, yeah, that's actually very snug fit. But only question I have is that does that top part there need to be further around? I don't think it makes that many odds. All right, there's that. Part 114 being that. Move that back to there. This time I'm going to have a bit of a look-see as to how it fits. Just so as I can do. I see. Now, this is 114. Big chunky blue thing. Sprue cutters. Bet you this will be another snug fit. That would be my anticipation. This is a bit of an awkward angle. Jesus. Gotcha. Now, filing aside, what sort of a postulation do we have here? So, you would think. Got it. Interesting. Alright, so that turns around that way. Goes onto here, like that. Quite easy, actually. And I think it goes on really square by the looks. The thing I'm concerned about, it looks like there's something that needs to connect there. Am I just being paranoid? Answer, probably. Yeah, I would suggest my concerns are probably unnecessary. Alright. Yeah, alrighty. Let's get that on then. Now we will do our usual trick of just filing the edges here. Make them look nice and pretty, touch them up with a bit of paint. And I might just zoom out a bit. And then get this into position. I'm wondering, get off of there. Yeah. There you gotcha. Cunty thing. A bit of a file. That's better. There's a bit of a file. I might tidy the paintwork up on this on when it's in position. We'll just check that out as an idea. Yes, we will. Not other way around. Yeah. Why you little? And cunties. Cunties. Come here. No, I'll do that first. Alright, zoom out. Here's our colour. Shake, shake, shake. Now I'm thinking, looking at the time, that what I'm probably going to do once I've gotten this done is actually not get onto the hull, but do some more work on the, possibly see about putting the caps on our rocker cover. And I won't worry about the deckling of them yet. I'll do that tomorrow, I reckon. So yeah, and then there's a couple of other parts that need to go together independently before the engine is completely assembled. These are things to consider. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Oh, that's a bit more convenient for me. Now you get over here. Let's tidy that up. That. And then we're good. All right. Now, rinse. And then I know what the next part is. That's an more easily identified one, or very easily identified one. There's also another couple of things that need to be assembled separately before going on the engine. So we might see about that as well. And I'm probably due to refresh my thinner too. All right. Rinse brush. Alrighty. Now, this instance we shall. There we go. Now, it goes that way around. And on it goes. Right. Now. That's how it looks from the front. One more part to be put on the back there. Nice. Was in the kit or a real one? The real one would be so cool. All right. This one. And that's a very easy one to identify as to which way up it goes, because, well, hey. Now, again, we'll tidy it up before we put it on. Yeah, let's do this. Sprue cutters. If you have the capacity, i.e., camera and all the other bits and bobs, feel free to let me know. You can join me on stream one day. Maybe we can do our two cars on the one stream, if you'd like. I know that I can actually, I have the capacity to invite a guest on the screen up to 10, I think it is. Yeah, yeah, that's the deal for me too. I do enter raffles for them because there's a thing over here called Classics for a Cause, and what it's mostly about is raising money for military vets. Because, well, the lot of a veteran is not entirely easy, let's not be shy. And yeah. But for me, if it's half a chance of getting a Mustang, I'm in. If I've got any spare cash, which I frequently do. It's only like $50 a ticket. All right, that's that tidy there. There's a little spot of black. Yeah, sure, man. So long as you've got I think all you need is camera. Well, you always need camera, mic, and streaming software. Now, if you got that, and streaming software doesn't, you got options. Some of it's free, man, depending on how. I mean, I use StreamYard. I think there's a free package they do. I pay for some. I'm not sure. Just check out what you can find, though, man. If you don't already have some, that is. Yeah. Now, just that little tidy up on the bottom there. Now, wish the cap had come out with the lid. Makes it so much easier and less mucky muck involved in this little process. Now, splotch. Alrighty, done. Now, next. Oh, cool. That's nice. Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, as the best man says, that's nice. That's a cool idea. Let's face it, building model kits is very good for your mental health. There are stats on that, I believe. Now this, let's see how nicely this fits, shall we? Pretty nicely. So nice it's not coming off. Oh well. Okay. Well, can't tell me that's a bad outcome, I guess. It's just staying there without even needing to be glued. Wow. Well, there we go. Now from the front, here we go. We can go front end. There's a little tidy up there we can do. In due course, now it's not the time, Kato. From the front, bearing in mind there's a couple of little tidy ups. There's that. At the back, this obviously goes on for the engine block. We've got that. So there's our fan mechanism once the fan is actually on it. Well, that's a pretty fair idea. If you can't, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? At least that'd be appreciated. Now, next. Yes. Here are a couple of other things that need to be done before being put on. Here we go. So we need to find 100, 112, and 122, and splatch. All right. This we will now do. And once we have gotten them together, I might need to wind the stream up so that I can get onto those other matters that I require to get onto. So I also need to take my car in for a service that I've got it all booked in and all that sort of caper. 100, 112, and 122. Bang. Let's do this. Well. Oh, look at that. Now, there's that. Now hang on a moment. Or is it that? Let's have a look at this very carefully for very obvious reasons. We don't be getting this wrong now. No, it is that way up. It's just a little. I see. I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I think it's that way. Right? Oh, it can't be. Can it? No, it can't be. Right, so if we take that, right, I'm just trying to check out my angles just to make sure I get that correct. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a yutz when the time comes. I see, said the blind man. Next, and it would appear there's a couple of decals that need to go on our fan belt. I'll give them a look at later. Okay, let's do this. All right, now what they've done here, rather cleverly, I would suggest. Now there is they're being very specific with their angle here, which is both good and a pain in the ass. Right. Good, because it ensures that the... Oh, there we go. Christ. What I'll do is get some thin glue around that one, because that one may not come out. No? Wow. Their parts fit nicely, I'll give them that. Okay, we get some thin glue into the back of that, so that at least there's something in there. Jesus. Most impressed with the... sometimes the fits are tight, but if they're that snug that you almost just don't need the glue, that's pretty impressive, actually. Now, this should, the theory is, being really thin, it goes into the, into the gaps, and will therefore bind that properly. Now, next, what I might just do very quickly is wipe off the excess. Beautiful. Wow. Very impressed with how well that fit. Now, something I need to consider here. Give me a moment. Yeah, not good. All the way around a second. All right, sprue cutters. All righty. Almost there for today. Get a bit of clarity there. Oh, hey, John, how you doing? Yeah, we're just getting stuck into some engine assembly on our Mustang here. Yeah. Give that a bit of a file. All right. Almost. Now we'll do as we've done with the other bits earlier today, which is to say just touch up those areas that need to be touched up, then glue it in. Now, what I wouldn't mind finding out, we're getting a bit of a hold on. Nice. Yeah, good work. Yeah. Detailing is where it's all at, man. Now, this goes which way round? That's the issue I'm having now. It can only be one of two ways, because there is a very clear and so does that look right? Yeah, it does. Would that be right? That'll tell me. No. Don't reckon. Which only leaves Now, how close does that get? That's correct, I reckon. Yeah, that's it. That's how it should go. And you know what? I reckon we can do our painting touch-ups once that's glued in. Oh, actually, no, be damned, we'll do them now. All right. And once that's in, I'll wind the stream up. We got a little bit done today. Tomorrow, I'm hoping that I will have a sufficient amount of time spare that we can put in a fairly solid sort of a session on it. We shall see. That's just gone onto my blanket. Yuck. Never mind. All right, there we go. Now, rinse brush. Well, all I'm going to do is, what I've done thus far, is the only thing I've really hit it with is gloss varnish. That's what I'll hit it with. I'm going to make it pristine, which is to say, normally when I build, say, for example, and this is more something I would do with a tank or a model aircraft, I do weathering. I want this one to look like it's showroom fresh, or perhaps car show fresh, because of course they're still got their little bits on them. But yeah, I intend to leave it pretty much that color. So yeah, that is the color it should wind up, and that's the intention. Well, that's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with the choice of yellow I made. I went through a few options before settling on that one. Yeah. Now I'm going to put the glue in here. And come on. There it is. There we go. Beautiful. Now this ultimately will go into there. So hang on. Actually, as I'm about to wind up the stream, we may as well as also use this as an opportunity to go through what we did today. What Rob did. Okay, we've gotten, hang on, that going on now. And that ultimately will go here, which I think it's the other way around. Jesus, did not need that behavior. Yeah, it's out that way, actually. So that will ultimately, I might even be able to, without gluing it or being put fully into position, that will go there. Now we also got our rocker covers on. Happy with that. Oh, yeah, catch you later, John. Now, further, these being our fan belt assembly that we also did today, ultimately go on here. I might even be able to and can. So you can start getting a bit of an idea as to, whoops, no, spun right the way around. You can start getting an idea as to how that's going to look. Whoops, a daisy. We'll let all that dry. And we also had to repair. Oh, looks like the repair's come up quite well with a bit of luck. Nuts come off. I have to fix that again. We're going to have to fix our. Actually, I might have an easier option. We'll come to that discussion later. But yeah, our fan belt needs a bit of repair, but that's okay. We'll fix that up in due course. Now, that is me done for today. Hang on, just focus. There we go. Now, as I said, I'm hoping that tomorrow I can stick around for a bit longer and we can get a fair bit more done. I'd like that. Yes, I would. As with the fan, something I am considering is, you might recall, certainly David and Bassman, you might recall that it does. But what I'm thinking, because remember how I've got that 69 Mustang kit that's got the cracked window, so had to buy it again. Because while I'm using there's a poser. I wanted to use the engine of that for the Volvo, but then if I take the fan out of, I'll work it out. Actually, I have a cunning plan. Anyway, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. First time viewers, it's the magic button time. Follow, like, or subscribe. What I could do with the fan, as an aside, just quick little thought, I still haven't gotten hold of those 3D printers in town. I could just take it into them and say, one of these, print. And there shouldn't be a big trick, you'd think. All the dimensions are there for them to see right in front of them. That'd do it. That'd be easier. Or it might be easier. We'll see. I'll give them a call. This is what the magic of the electric telephone is for. Now, yes, I've already asked first-time viewers to do the follow, like, or subscribe. If you'd like to track me down other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch, and we follow, like, or subscribe. Very simple, people, really. All right. Which brings us to tomorrow, we'll be back on the Mustang doing more on the engine. And if I'm sticking around, which I expect I shall be, we'll get onto some painting of the hull, I'd say. All right. Glad you enjoyed it, Bassman. And yes, have a good evening. Say hello to Basswoman. Thank you. And I'll my pleasure, David. Yes, hopefully I'll catch all you good people tomorrow. Catches. Oh wait, I didn't do my proper finishing because tomorrow I'll be on at a similar kit time and the same kit channel. All righty, indeed. And I'll catch you guys then. Cheers.